right now, it's an interesting time because there are more and more schools producing animation professionals, and there may not be quite enough jobs to go around. And it's, you know, as you're entering the business, it's a challenge because you are having to enter an area where the big studios want very experienced people. The smaller ones might be willing to create trainee positions, but there might not be any money in it, and you know, one has to eat.
I think when you're young and just getting started, it's easy to be discouraged and think that you're not good enough, you're not as good as other people, and that maybe nobody wants to hear your stories. And this is all kind of negative self-talk that people have to learn to get past. They have to just keep creating and trust that if they're passionate about what they're doing, that other people will be interested as well, and they'll find their audience.
What I'm about to say is a little corny and maybe a cliche, but it's true. If you believe in yourself and if you believe in your work and you develop your work and trust your work and don't let the wind knock you off, you will do anything. I was rejected from many important places here in Mexico regarding cinematography because I wanted to do animation, and I couldn't find someone who supported the project I had, but I never lost hope, even though everyone screamed to me that it didn't work and it was crap and everything. I just kept on it, and that's it. Because for some of us, it doesn't matter if you have a low budget or a big budget or the best equipment or the worst. If you have a creation and if you create as a second nature, you will find a way. Nothing can stop you as long as you have that work and you believe in yourself. I know it sounds kind of like a fairy tale, but it's true. If you believe in yourself, your second nature of creating stuff and bringing this joy to the world will just burst, and there will be a day or maybe some days or months when you feel down and you feel like there's a lot and you want to quit, but those are the moments where you have to stay strong the most, because it will help. It happens to me, it still happens. It's something that probably will never go away, but it's there to remind us that it's the work we're doing and it's worth it, and it's what you want to do, what you love, so just keep on it.
It's a hard business. Storytelling is hard. People have been telling stories for, thousands of years, and it never gets any easier. It doesn't matter how much experience you have or how many movies you've already made. Each new project is challenging, and we all, regardless of our level of success, have moments where we want to give up or we think we've gotten in too deep and can't handle the challenge. But you can handle it, and I think the stories, the movies, whatever you're making is ultimately better for having gone through kind of the rigor and the challenge of making them.
The important thing is to, at all times, perfect your craft. Even if you're not working, keep drawing, keep sculpting, keep making. Because the fact is, if you don't love what you're doing, there is no reason to do this. Animation is not a trade where lives hang in the balance. It's not a duty that you have to the world to enter the world of animation. You do it because you love it and you are passionate about it. And I know in my own, in my own past, there were times where the work wasn't coming. It just wasn't out there. And so I would find other avenues of approach. I come from a background as a sculptor, as a set builder, as a puppet maker, and a designer. And when there wasn't animation work, I looked for work in other areas. I would make masks. I would make puppets for TV shows and for puppet performances, where I would just find work that related to what I was doing, what I was passionate about. And that kept me going until the animation, the television, film work, whatever, came along. So I think it's important to realize that, okay, so the animation studio here in Cuernavaca or in Mexico City isn't hiring, but I have a set of skills and I can apply them to something else. I'm not going to take a desk job. I'm not going to get a job working in a factory. I am going to, stick to my craft in whatever way I possibly can.
You can always picture where do you want to go. Like if you want your project to be in some place like Cartoon Network, or if you want your project to be an indie game or an indie comic or an indie animation, and you can always find people who share the love of this, that is what we do, the animation, illustration, drawing, telling stories, script writing, everything. You can find people everywhere, all around the world, that has this same interest and same passion and love for what you want to do. So there's always people, there's always someone. And if even you could do it all by yourself if you want to, and there will be the windows and the doors to expose it to the world, because nowadays you have all this kind of platforms where you can share your stuff and share your work, and that will help you a lot. So you don't have to worry about, oh, maybe I don't have the giant big budget. Then do it. Don't wait for a big company or something. There's a lot of people who create stuff individually and they grow. But if you want to see your project on Cartoon Network or something like that, you can go there as well. And trust me, it may look scary at first because it's like this big company. Cartoon Network has been doing the shows you've watched as a child. But trust me, if you believe in your work, if you develop it, if you cherish it and take care of it as your child or as your baby, you will find someone who will support you. I trust you.